Pachami. Aham. Mama. Vartmanu Vartante. Manushyaha. Partha. Sarvashaha.
Suke khabo gai, boro suke khabo gai, boro suke khabo gai, boro suke khabo gai. Surabhi kunjite name hath tuleche, Surabhi kunjite name hath tuleche. Koronitai, koronitai.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. A lot is about to change in our life. We have decided to take up the full-time preaching business again and try to push this movement in China. So at the moment I'm on my way to the Buddhist temple. I have taken some books with me. We'll try to be engaging in conversation with people over there and see if they're interested. And hopefully with Prabhupada's mercy we'll try to distribute the free books. Yes, things are changing. I had been pondering upon this idea of again starting the full-time preaching business. Of course, it is not easy to surrender. It's raining. Forgot to bring an umbrella. Alright, so yes, it's raining today, but I made a vow to myself that I would be going today, so let's just do it. I'm not a great devotee like the book distributors. I've always held high esteem for those who distribute books because Prabhupada spoke so many times how much book distribution was dear to him. Yes, so full-time life again. I'm excited, but at the same time, I had some attachment to the place where we live. Those of you who've been following, you might know that it was a very beautiful garden with an artificial lake and all these things. Materially speaking, it was the best position that I had in my life. Only 3 hours of work a day I could support my family. We had a nice air, nice mountain, everything. But the preaching was not going on. I was doing deity worship at home, which I really liked. I like serving the Lord. But like I said, preaching was not going on. The Matajis here also, if I could say, needed some association. And also association with them, we also get some benefits. Now we've been here for almost 2 weeks. Every day I'm giving Bhagavatam class in the morning and Bhagavad Gita class in the evening. So it's giving me a chance to speak, giving them a chance to hear. So we're stronger together. There's a lot of challenges. This is what preaching is all about. Preaching is never easy. And I was wondering how to surrender, because those of you who've been watching for a long time, maybe you know that I've suggested many times to the Matajis to be together. First of all, I asked them to come to our garden and rent an apartment next to us because the rent is much, much cheaper over there. So that was not appealing to them because they had moved the temple already at, I believe, 2 or 3 times in the past, 1 or 2 years. So they were tired of it. Then I suggested that we rent a big house together somewhere in Guangzhou. That also somehow did not appeal. And then I had suggested that we get a farm. That also didn't work. Then I was trying to find maybe a farm for me and my wife. I think Krishna did not want that also. So finally I thought that, okay, well, if I surrender, Krishna will take care, right? Even though it's so expensive to live here. That's the reason why I had not considered coming near the Matajis, was because the rent is so expensive. It's 3 times more expensive than where we live at the moment. So I was thinking how I'm gonna get the money for this. How will I pay for the rent and be full-time at the same time? So I thought I would still have to work, So anyway, I made a video not too long ago. As I did that video when I was speaking on top of the rooftop saying I wanted to start the full-time life again, later on a very generous devotee contacted me, Mr. S.R. I do not want to say his name, but he knows who he is. So he contacted me and he said that he wanted to help. So he said that he saw our genuine desire to serve Sri Prabhupada and that he wanted to support. And he has pledged to support for 1 year. So just see, as soon as we surrendered, Krishna has arranged. We went to see an apartment. It was nice for my wife. She accepted, My meaning is that for me, myself, I don't care. Just a little room somewhere is enough. Wife and child, they need some material comfort, Prabhupada said women and children cannot endure as much austerity. So that's it. It's a new chapter in our life. I am a bit sometimes anxious whether or not I'll be able to boost the moral of the troops, if I can say. The Matajis went through a lot, a lot of people left, started to speak against us. Although all we want to do is simply follow Srila Prabhupada's orders, and we can see that these people are nowhere now. They have no devotional standing. They are more or less back to karmi life. So we know that we are right. So they went through a lot, and the only 3 Matajis, no one to push things forward, and they're getting older also. So it's hard to keep the enthusiasm in such circumstances. So I just hope that I will be able to engage them again. So one thing I'm thinking is to do like this, to go out as many times as possible during the week and try to preach and bring people to the temple, and in this way give them a chance to preach also, because enthusiasm comes when we preach. Bhaktivedanta Saraswati said a dead man cannot preach. Bring new people in, start to organize some yoga center preaching, so many yoga studios in Guangzhou city. So in this way, arrange for some preaching activities, bring back some life into the temple. And His Grace Nagopa Prabhu told me that you work independently, in the sense that you do your thing, you go out there, you preach, and you bring people to the temple. Let them take care of the deities, let them cook and all. Like this, you have all your time to do your thing. He said, don't discuss about preaching activities with them, you just do it, and once you arrange for it, they will follow. And that's true, because many times before I would suggest something that, oh, why don't we do this, why don't we do that, but then I would hit a wall of disenthusiasm that will also bring my energy levels down. So now I just decided I'm just gonna go a one-man show, and they will be carrying a sort of a secret agent that goes out there, and they're the soldiers at the base.
সুখে খবর গায়, বড় সুখে খবর গায়, বড় সুখে খবর গায়, বড় সুখে খবর গায়। সুরাবি কুঞ্জিতে নামের হাত তুলেছে, সুরাবি কুঞ্জিতে নামের হাত তুলেছে। করুণিতাই, করুণিতাই, মজার কথা চাই, বড় মজার কথা চাই, বড় মজার কথা চাই, বড় মজার কথা চাই। সদা মূলে সুধা নাম সে হাতেতে বিখায়, সদা মূলে সুধা নাম সে হাতেতে বিখায়। যথা ভক্ত বৃন্দবশী, যথা ভক্ত বৃন্দবশী।
All these plates are names of departed relatives. Their relatives, you pay some money to put their names here. All this is more or less cheating, because it's not because you simply buy a plate and put your relative's name here that they are assured of liberation, And it's more or less become a business. Try to exploit the little faith that people have about an existence beyond this body, and try to make money off of that. I'm in the library in the Buddhist temple. I have a lot of books. I'm thinking to leave this book, Bhagavad Gita. I think I'll just put it somewhere, and some fortunate soul hopefully will take it. So I left one Bhagavad Gita in the library. Then I approached one auntie who was reading some Buddhist book, and I tried to give to her a Science of Self-Realization. I tried to convince her. She said she didn't want it. So I'll see if I'll try to approach some people outside here.
বড় Doyal Nityananda, Guru Doyal Nityananda. Shadha Matra Loye Den, Paramayananda.
Hare Krishna. We are a few days after the attempt of book distribution that I did at the Buddhist temple. I was not so eager to make a video on that because I have to say I was a bit ashamed of my poor performance. Anyway, I guess I was lacking sincerity, but at least I went, and Prabhupada says that devotional service is absolute, so whether there's result or not, this is not what the Lord is seeing. He's seeing the endeavor. So yes, so full-time life again. Finally, after quite some time since we were full-time in the central China, in Henan province, in Zhengzhou city, which is actually flooded at the moment. Rain happening for many days. It flooded the entire city. Cars were broken, people died. Some horrible situation happened to the poor people in the subway. They were stuck in a subway and the water was just going up and up, and they thought they were going to die. So just see this nonsense rascal civilization. These so-called leaders, they are making these things thinking that they're advancing. These subway thing, going in the ground, digging holes like moles, and we're going faster. But just see in which precarious conditions they're putting their citizens in. Foolish civilization. And all of this simply because of anarthas, unwanted things. You see, just like cell phones, we did not need these things. People lived for millenniums without cell phones. But now they have created this new necessity of life that now you cannot do without it. Products that they're manufacturing and that they're capturing the innocent people who are not taught to control their senses with advertisement and so many things that, yes, now I need these things. And to get these things, I need that paper money that the government is manufacturing. And to get that paper money, I'm gonna have to get this nonsense job working 8 hours a day, 6 days a week in China. That's a standard. For what? For all these things that are not going to make you happy. All these different drinks, Pepsi Cola, different restaurants, this cinema, these hotels, all this different so-called technological advancement that they're doing. It's capturing people, and then what happens is that we become more and more addicted to this sense gratification. We want new and new and new, never satisfied. And we're willing to work like asses and be stuck in subways. Hellish life. Here, a country like China, where the government is blocking anything that has to do with spiritual life, with religions, how will these people ever come out? Why are these things happening? These floods, these tornadoes in north of China, sandstorms, earthquakes. How long can they challenge the established order of God and not suffer for it? They will suffer, and it's just the beginning. It will increase more and more. The only saving grace is Krishna consciousness, and that's what we have to try to give to these people. I'm speaking to all these people and they're all nice. The difficulty is these rascal leaders, that's all. So thanks to SR Prabhu again, who has kindly made a commitment to give a good amount of money for 12 months. I'm also asking any one of you who would like to help also and give a monthly donation and do the same thing, commit for 1 year to give a certain amount of money. It doesn't need to be much. It can be $50, $100, it doesn't matter. But this is definitely going to help us, that I can maintain my family without any stress, for medical bills or whatever else we're going to be requiring. And in this way, I can fully have my mind free and I can focus on preaching. And whatever extra that we don't need, 50% will go for the temple maintenance and 50% will go for printing books. So still half of the CC has not been translated. So this is a long-term project that I'm seeing, and I hope it's going to come about. And if you would like to commit like this for 1 year, this 1 year would get me the time to generate
the donations from within China. And to surrender was not easy. I had some material attachment to where we were. I have to admit that. And then I prayed to God Anitai that please help me if to surrender. You know, if you want me to go there, please help me. And that very evening, we had a class with His Grace Srila Gopal Prabhu for the Chinese Yatra, and everything he was speaking about was preaching. I didn't ask that question. I let devotees ask question, and this is the topic that came up. And he shared with me so many quotes about the importance of preaching. So that kind of severed the last trace of attachment that I had for that house. Back to full-time preaching. You'll be seeing a lot more action in the coming vlogs. However, for the next 1 month, we're gonna have to be shifting everything. So I don't know if I'll be showing too much of that, but you know, who knows. So please pray for us that we'll be successful. Now I feel confident, and I hope that you can help, and I hope that you can give me your blessings that I will be successful somehow to please Srila Prabhupada and Krishna in this great new chapter in our life, this great new adventure in this communist country. Let's try to bring some rays of light. Krishna Surya Sama, Hari Haribol, Jai Shri
Achandale dena nitai doyamo. Achandale dena nitai doyamo. Achandale dena nitai doyamo. Achandale dena